Hi, my name is Cindy Rang with the Fabric Patch, and I'm just going to show you two really quick things that you wish you would have known sooner. My daughter and I have owned and operated a busy quilt shop in Washington State for over 20 years. We have a retreat center, an active YouTube channel, and a large pattern line featuring our creations. My two sons work on machines. One daughter-in-law is our videographer, and the other is a long-arm quilter. We are a family that love each other, we laugh together, and every once in a while we get some work done. We have a crew that are saints for their efforts at keeping us on track. Thanks for joining us on our wild ride. Okay, so this morning when we did our Fabric Friday, which we do every Friday, we open all of these boxes and we show everybody the new things that came into the quilt shop. One of the things that we unearthed was this quilted potato fabric, which is fantastic. So you can still get just regular potato fabric. You can make any size you want. You can go ahead and add your batting and quilt it, but what's really, really nice is that this is already done for you. The reason that you want quilted potato fabric is to make a baked potato cooker. And the important thing, since you're putting this in the microwave, is that if you do your own thing, you have to have 100% cotton fabric, 100% cotton batting, it's the only one you can use, and 100% cotton thread. If you do not do that, it will ignite in the microwave. Flames, absolutely flames. Don't ask me how I know that, but I do know that. Anyway, so you can make it that way, or what's really nice is this is already done for you. We tested it because, you know, trust but verify, isn't that the whole thing? So we did put this in the microwave, and it is 100% cotton. It does say that on the label. Everything is fine. So what we did is we cut this little piece because all you really need is about 12 inches by 22 inches. Or if you're doing your own thing, a third of a yard would do 2. And I'm going to show you how to make that. The other thing I'm just going to mention really quickly is that if you like this sort of idea, these are the microwave bowls. If you've not made these before, you should be making these. This is the best gift ever to give to anybody. It just takes 2 10-inch squares, one 10-inch piece of your warm 100. You put your bowl in there as you put it in the microwave, and then what happens is when you take your bowl of soup out, you're not getting burnt. It also works really well for a bowl of ice cream. And then the other thing that we're just going to show you really, really quick is a tortilla cooker. Same idea. You can put your tortillas in here, but you would have to fold them a little bit if you wanted your own little deal. We're just going to show you really fast how to use some really cool pepper fabric. I don't think we have any more of the tortilla fabric, but we've got a lot of cool peppers, and we'll show you how that goes together. So first, in terms of the potato, you can either, again, quilt your own, do your own thing, or for $5, it's got both layers of fabric, the correct batting, and everything that you need. So what you might need to do first is you might need to square it up. So I've already started the 2 ends, and then I was thinking, people have asked before if I would show how to square up. So if you start with your straight edge, if you're looking with your ruler, you'll be able to see that this edge lines up, and I'm just coming over to the closest cut I can make. So I'm just shaving off little bits of fabric here, and then I'll cut off a little bit more up there. I'm going to put glasses on and use this rotary cutter. I don't know where my... Trim that off, and then do the same thing. Do my top. And I've lined this up. I don't want my salvage to be a part of it. And if I look up on the top, since I've already trimmed off this side, and this side, trim this off. So now all I have to do is I'm going to really fast, I'm going to hem both short ends. And in doing that, I'm actually going to come in about 1/4 of an inch and come over. Again, it's not necessary that you do that, but if you really like that finished edge, it's kind of a nice thing, but you do need to go at least once. So I'm going to do that really fast, press my seam, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've hemmed both of the sides, and again, I just sort of did a double fold because I like the look, but you don't have to do that. What we're of course going to do is we're going to double this over, giving us just a little bit of an opening here. There's just gonna be a little overflap, and we're gonna sew that end. But of course what we're doing is kind of right sides together, so we're gonna flip that up, flip this over. I'm gonna go back to the sewing machine. I'm gonna sew this edge and this edge, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here are my two seams on the side, and I just want to mention that there's two ways to do it. One way is to just double sew this seam. The reason you want to is because you're going to be putting some big old heavy potatoes in there, and you really want to make sure nothing is going to come apart. So you can either do it that way and then turn everything right side out and you are totally done. Or if you really do like that finished look and you are afraid that somebody's going to see your raw edges on the inside, your other option after you've turned it right side out is you can just top sew a little like a French seam. And so what that means is that once I have fiddled with this and I've gotten this turned right side out, thank you so much, and used a purple thing, that's what these are for, of course, is just a nice little stiletto that you can poke everything out. So I'll get all of that poked out, and then what I can do is I can come along here and I'll just top sew a little closure here, and that's what gives us that opportunity that when you look inside then you don't see anything raw edge. So you can do it either way that you'd like. And then what's nice about this is all you're going to do now is when it's time to bake a potato, you're just going to wash your potatoes. You don't do anything else. You don't prick them, you don't put a hole in them, you don't rub them in butter, I mean, unless you want to do that. You don't do anything. You're just going to put them in there, close this whole thing up, and we're going to put in the link below, we're going to put these directions. This is a free handout. The company who makes the batting puts this out, but what's nice about it is down at the bottom, the little wattage requirements for how long it takes to bake, microwave how many potatoes. But what happens is it comes out absolutely perfect. They come out exactly right. I have 3 of these at my house because as soon as you're done with them, you just throw them in the washing machine. They wash it beautifully. But if you do want to make a whole bunch of potatoes for a larger family, you don't have time in the oven, they turn out exactly right. So anyway, fully washable. Throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer, put it back in your drawer, and it's ready to go. I'm going to finish on that in just a second. We'll show you a picture at the end. The other thing that I want to show you, done exactly the same way, really, is the tortilla, microwavable tortilla warmer. So you can do this the same way. Well, you can do it in here if you'd like to. You can just put them in here, and I think that that's what Brianna does. But if you want to make one like this, what you're going to need is you're going to need 5 circles. So what works really well is about a 13 to 15 inch plate. A 10 inch plate is just a little bit too small. So my suggestion, or maybe a big bowl, 13 to 15 inches, and you're gonna cut 6 circles. I'm gonna cut my fabric and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have used, again, if I didn't make it clear, just use a large serving platter, or you can use a large bowl. Again, I like the 13 to 15 inch size, but and if you're doing 13 inches, that's why you only need 3/4 of a yard of fabric. From 3/4 of a yard of fabric, you'll get the 5 circles that you need. You will have a little bit left over. You have enough really for about 6 circles, but you could make a bowl out of what's left. So 3/4 of a yard, a little bit left over, 5 circles, and 1 circle out of your warm your warm 100% cotton batting. So then what you're going to do is the way that you lay this out is you lay right side down, batting, right side up. I'll fuss with these in a second. Take another one, oops, and fold it in half and layer that one. And then with your last 2, just want to show you a little trick, because if you only did it with 4 and you layered those, you'll see that you have a little opening right there, and you really do want to envelop it in order to make sure that all of that steaming happens. And so your only other option is to cut like a way bigger circle, cut it in half, but it's just a little bit easier since you're cutting circles anyway. You've got your little template. Just take your 2 circles, put them right sides together, and then measure up. I think that the magic number is like 7 inches, but I always just double check. So I've got everything laid out here. I'm going to lay my circle down where it goes. And the reason I always double check is because I might think I've grabbed the same plate or same platter and it's something different. And I'm going to measure right here. So this is where my fold is, and I've just got this on my mat right here, and I'm going to measure up 2 inches, 1, 2. So I'm going to go from here, I'm going to measure up to right there. You see my measurement? And I'm going to line up my ruler, just so I know right about where that's at. I'm going to draw my line, and I just use my friction marker. And then I'm going to go to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew right on that line, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've sewn right on my line. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off about my 1/4 of an inch roughly past that line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to press that. And then once I've pressed that with my iron, you can see that when I lay that down, I've got that 2-inch overlay, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuss with this a little bit, put my little clips on, and I'm going to go to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew all the way around my circle, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have sewn through all of my layers. If you feel like you have to trim something off or do whatever, you can go ahead and do that. And then all you have to do then is same thing, just turn it right side out. And then you can use your little purple thing for turning out those corners or whatever. And again, this is all cotton fabric, cotton thread, cotton batting. When you put your tortillas in here, I do it for 30 seconds. And then you just throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer. If you don't like seeing that raw edge, okay, so you have your tortilla warmer, 30 seconds for a package of tortillas, keeps them perfectly warm and perfect. Your potato cooker, which is 8 minutes for 2 large potatoes in my microwave, and of course your microwave bowls. There's patterns available for any of these things if you feel like you don't want to muscle through it, and all of these things are going to make your life a whole lot easier.
Thank you for watching our video. We invite you to leave a comment, hit the like button, or better yet, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. You can also visit our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest pages, or find all of those things and our online store at fabricpatch.net.